Do you have goals you want to achieve in life? Or a vision you want to turn into reality? It's not going to happen overnight. It's part of a process. And any process takes time. But what's involved in that process? It's what you'll find out. Welcome to Achieve the Goal, the web series.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for checking out this video. My name is Devin Lars. I want to start by saying I appreciate your guys' support with all the shares, comments, and likes on the first episode of the web series. I'm so glad that you guys like this series. Now, today's episode is about having a vision for your life. And what does that mean? Now, I'll give you guys a little background on myself. Throughout my whole schooling career, I wasn't the best student. I wasn't even a good student. I got literally D's and F's on every report card. They labeled me with dyslexia. They said I had ADD. They tried to give me Ritalin. I just learned different. I wasn't into the actual school method. Nothing really captured my interest. One thing happened that changed my life. My senior year, I almost didn't graduate. I was messing up, not going to class. I remember my English teacher called my mom and said, Devin is not about to graduate. He's messing up. I don't know what he's doing. He's a bright kid, but he just doesn't pay attention and doesn't come to class. So at this moment, my mom sat me down and she told me, you know what? We're gonna send you to boot camp. And at this time, I'm like, damn, I don't wanna leave my friends. I don't wanna leave where I'm at. I don't wanna go to boot camp. And so my best friend sat down with my mom and he told her, let me talk to him. Let me work with him. And so he sat down and he literally said, dude, like, you're messing up. Like, you're gonna mess up your whole life if you don't get this together. I said, okay, that sounds good, but I don't know what to do. Everybody always has suggestions that you should do something, but never has an answer, an action plan on what to do. So he started airbrushing at his house. And I remember every day after school, I would go over to his house and watch him airbrush these model cars. And so one day, I suggested to him, hey, why don't you start airbrushing t-shirts? He said, all right, cool. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna airbrush the t-shirts and you'll wear them at school and promote them and bring me business. And at first I said, okay, yeah, that's cool. But then I said, wait, I like art too. Maybe this is something that we can do together. So I was living with my grandfather at the time. And I remember I rushed home and I told my grandpa, I said, Grandpa, me and Darren want to start a business together. I said, is there anything I can do around the house to make some money to get an airbrushing machine? And he said, you know what? I'll find something for you to do. And so literally that weekend, he stopped me before I left and went wherever I went. He said, Devin, do you want to go get this airbrushing machine? And I was like, yeah, I haven't done any work yet, of course. So we went out and we got this airbrushing machine. Now we set up literally in my bedroom and started airbrushing. Now we didn't know what the heck we were doing, but we were like, you know what, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna start a business. We literally were going about names on what we're gonna call our first business. And we decided, hey, my name's Devin, your name's Darren, let's start D&D Airbrush. And that's exactly what we did. So we literally went down to Shirt Teak in the mall and we printed D&D Airbrush on our hoodies with our cell phone numbers on the back talking about hit us up. And we were literally walking through the mall and people would be calling us up talking about, hey, I'm trying to get some airbrush done. And we're like, how did you get our numbers? We're like, it's on the back of your hoodie. We're like, oh, all right, cool. And so we started to pick up accounts. Now, we started to do this before we were even good. Like, we literally started to market and promote ourselves before we even really knew how to use an airbrush. But we said, you know what, we're gonna figure it out. When we first started our business, everybody was laughing at us. Family, friends, closest people to us was saying, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys aren't gonna be able to do this. And I used to beat myself up. I used to literally like get so frustrated where I wanted to quit pretty much every single day because I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. My art teacher at the time, Mr. Gonzalez, always told me, he said, Devin, stop beating yourself up. You have to start somewhere. You're not gonna come out being great. And so he would encourage me. He would say, keep going, keep going. So I remember this one time when we first started and we were getting ready for a high school senior rally. And I spent like 12 hours airbrushing this Bugs Bunny shirt. Now I'm thinking I'm the freshest thing walking. Now I get to school and I'm thinking everybody's gonna stop me and talk about how dope my shirt is. And nobody said anything. Nobody said nothing. And I remember going to class and telling my art teacher, like, man, I spent 12 hours on this shirt and nobody even cares. And he said, you know what? Keep going. He said, don't stop. He said, right now it might be kind of blurry. People can't see it right away. People can't see your vision, but keep going. So when we first got our equipment, we used to airbrush on everything. Speakers, walls, shoes, socks, t-shirts, anything we could get our hands on. We even airbrushed my car that my mom used to have to drive. Now, I'm a horrible son. Now, the reason why I say I'm a horrible son is because this is what the car looked like. I know, crazy, right? But back then we thought we were young Picassos. Now, we were excited about it. We wanted to show it off. And I would never forget this. We went to go show my cousin. He came outside and he looked at the car and was like, "Boy, if you don't get," cracking up laughing. And he said, "What do you think you're gonna do? Take over the world with an airbrush?" Now, this was the first time that I realized that not everybody's gonna see the vision that's in my head. And it affected me, I have to be honest. But I didn't let it stop me. We kept working. Some time went on, and there was a popular clothing brand back then. We did a custom shirt with their logo. And I remember we would wear it out and people would stop us and ask us what store did we buy it from. And we kind of stopped and said, why are we promoting the next person's brand when we can start our own? So we decided to start a screen printing company. Now at the time, we had no idea what screen printing was, but we knew that pretty much everybody owned a shirt that had some sort of screen printing on it. So we realized if we started a printing company, we could experiment on other people's stuff and use the money to invest in our own brand. And that's exactly how D&D Designs and Screen Printing and Doing Everything Different was founded. So there were a lot of people that didn't believe in us. There were some that did. But regardless, both sides couldn't fully see our vision. Like you, for example. You've probably been wondering why the words on my clothes are backwards. Well, here's why. They say greatness resides in all of us. And that all we have to do is see it, find it, live it, believe it. It all starts with a vision. Everything. And even though some people may look at you funny, don't understand it, can't see it, well, maybe it's not time for them to see it. But one thing's for certain, is that when they do see it, they won't be able to ignore it. And honestly, the only thing that really matters is that you see it. Dope, right? So regardless of what people say about you, what they think about you, what their opinion is, don't worry about it. As long as you get up every single morning and you work on your vision, that's all that matters. It's not supposed to be clear to people right away. It's in your head. How do you expect somebody to see what's in your head? It doesn't happen overnight. Work on your vision. Never let anybody count you out. And if they do, because trust me, they will. They will, I guarantee you. And it's gonna be the closest people to you. You're gonna have to silence out that noise. Don't let it affect you. Keep going, keep moving forward, keep following that dream, keep pushing forward. Don't give up, because I promise you, it will get better. They always say it's darkest before the dawn. And I'm living proof to tell you, as long as you don't give up, you could accomplish anything that you want in life. So we're getting ready to leave in a couple of hours, headed to Virginia to continue my speaking tour. Now in next week's episode, we're gonna talk about facing your fears and how I went from a shy, introverted person to speaking to tens of thousands of students a year. Dang. Hey, it's been that many?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna share some principles that I've learned that you guys can apply to your life to face some of your fears. But before we end, I wanna introduce you guys to this new thing that we created called Goal of the Week. Now, sometimes when we have goals, they're too big. They seem unattainable and they get overwhelming sometimes. But what I learned is you gotta take that big goal and chop them up in a series of small short-term goals. So this goal of the week, writing down your vision and writing 3 action steps of what you're gonna do this week to move closer to turning that vision into reality. They could be small. And if you don't know what your vision is, write down 3 things that you're either passionate about or enjoy doing, and we'll go from there. And remember, like I always say, to get something you never had, you must do something you never done. Peace.